Kiev, despite Russia's war in Ukraine and the nationwide state of martial law. Some Western politicians are pressing the government in Kiev to hold parliamentary and presidential elections. This leaves many Ukrainian officials scratching their heads. ArrowRight. The proposal, originally put forward by Tiny Cox, Dutch Speaker the Parliamentary Assembly of Council Europe, was also pressed by Senator Lindsey O. Graham during his visit to Kiev last month with Senators Richard Blumenthal and Elizabeth Warren. Have otherwise focused on solidifying U.S. aid and bipartisan support for Ukraine. Other Republicans have also taken up the cause, including conservative commentators like Tucker Carlson, who falsely accused Zelensky of canceling the election. Ukraine's constitution prohibits holding elections under martial law. According to Ukrainian officials, election experts, democracy advocates, holding free and fair elections in wartime is almost impossible, also inadvisable. About one-fifth of Ukraine's territory is currently occupied by Russian forces. Millions of Ukrainians have been displaced and many live outside the country. The push hold elections despite such obstacles underscores the persistent demand from some in the West for Ukraine to prove its commitment to democracy. Even though Ukrainians have twice revolted in mass pro-democracy demonstrations. Maidan Revolution of 201,314. Ukrainian officials say significant financial, logistical and legal hurdles must be overcome before a major wartime vote can be held. In private conversations, some say this possibility is completely impossible and could provide Moscow's security forces with a means of infiltrating Ukraine and weakening it from within. The Russians are suppressing this through their own secret channels, said a Ukrainian official from security agency, who spoke on condition of anonymity due to the sensitivity of issue. There is no situation where democratic elections are possible during war. The official said holding elections could give Russia opportunity to manipulate and create divisions among Ukrainian society and politicians who have disappeared for much of the war to show solidarity as country struggles for its very existence. This is risky, bad for country and politically pointless, official said, adding, it would weaken extremely fragile political resilience of Ukrainian state. But Kiev authorities cannot rule out the idea of throwing elections out of control risk alienating key political actors in the West who demand elections and who are vital for Ukraine to maintain international financial military aid. Former Ukrainian Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko said holding elections in wartime would lead to Ukraine losing the war as internal political disagreements that naturally arise in a democratic society shatter the national unity needed to defeat Russia. The price of holding elections wartime will be a lost war, Tymoshenko said in an interview. Brussels this month. Unity is T.